Hey, ever feel like you've got the blues? Well, sometimes we do feel like we've got the blues and we might be singing about the blues. But today we're going to be learning about the blues and, in particular, the blues scale and how do we find the blue note. It's fun to have a blue note, isn't it? So, my name's Glory St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory, and I've got a great tip for you today on how to make it easy to teach music theory when we're talking about the blues scale, and in particular, how do we add the blue note and what is it? So if you're feeling like you want to learn the blues scale, you're in the right place. Let's get started with what is a blues scale? Well, we're going to start with the basics because that's always the best way to start. Let's start with C major scale. So here's C major scale. Sounds pretty simple. How do we create the blues scale from that? Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out the second and the sixth degree. So we're just going to take those right out of there. We're not even going to use them. They're just gone. So now we're left with C, E, F, G, B, and C. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lower the third and we're going to lower the seventh. So if we lower the third and we lower the seventh, and we've already omitted the second and sixth degree, now we've created the minor pentatonic scale, and it sounds like this. That's pretty cool already, isn't it? But if we want to make it even cooler, we're going to add the blue note. So what is the blue note? Well, the blue note is when we add a half step in between our fourth degree here and our fifth degree here. So it's just a half step or a semitone in between our two notes, and that's called the blue note. So we've taken a major scale, omit the second and sixth degree. So far, so good. Lower the third, lower the seventh. So far, so good. And then add the blue note. So that is a half step between our fourth and our fifth degree. So now let's have a listen to our blues scale. We're going to see if you can hear that blue note. Wow, makes a big difference, doesn't it? So another thing that we can do when we have our blues scale is that we can also write it in a different way. So we understand that we've written our minor pentatonic scale, and we're simply adding the blue note. So now you'll notice that we have our major scale. We've eliminated the second and the sixth degree. And now we've lowered the third and the seventh. So far, so good. Oh, should have had my little lowered seventh here. Lower the seventh. And when we're looking at our degree here, it's a half step between the fourth and the fifth. But notice that instead of writing a G flat, we've changed that to an F sharp. Does it make a difference? Well, let's have a listen. Here it is. Didn't sound like anything different. Why is that? Because G flat and F sharp are called harmonic equivalence. That means they're the same pitch. They're just simply written differently. So now what about if we want to write the blues scale in another way? So here's a great tip for you. Go ahead and write a minor scale. Okay, you're just going to go ahead and write your natural minor scale. And then we're going to omit the second and the sixth degrees. So we've left those out completely. And then we're going to have the reveal because we're going to lower our fifth degree or raise our fourth degree, and then it sounds different. And the other thing too is if you're using these techniques to write your blues scale and you think, well, what could I do with my blues scale? Simply by taking your blues scale, starting on C, if you change the rhythm, you're kind of already getting that little groove happening. So here's the C blues scale. And you can kind of feel that little accent on the blue note. Makes it super fun. And finally, if we're going to write out our D minor pentatonic scale, and then we're going to add our blue note by lowering the half step Either way works out because it's called the blue note. And the blue note is a half step between our fourth and our fifth degree. So we can see how easy it is to play the blues scale. So if you're playing the blues scale, you could add it rhythmically. You can play it higher, you can play it lower, you can add some jazz chords to it. It's just a really super fun way to explore music in a different way. So what is the blue note? The blue note is the note between the fourth and fifth degrees. How do you form it? Let's do a quick review. C major scale, leave out the second. It can be on any degree. So major scale, leave out the second and sixth degree, lower the third and the seventh, and then put your blue note in there because that's the one that makes it cool. If you'd like to learn more about how you can teach music theory more effectively and have a lot of fun doing it, join me at teachmusictheory.com, and I've got some great tips there for you and a lot of resources for you. So teachmusictheory.com. Hope you've enjoyed the blue note. Go ahead and play a little tune on that one. Till next time, teach with passion.